Hi everyone, I am Tejas and in this video I'll be showcasing a data-driven project on football stats, specifically the English Premier League. So let me just introduce my project, Football Match Outcome Analyzer. This is a data-driven project where I have used real match data to understand football trends, analyze team performance, and even predict match outcomes using machine learning. So now the dataset overview. I've used a CSV named matches.csv where there is complete details of all the matches and of the played between 2020 and 24 season in particularly from English Premier League. So let me just show you the dataset. This is the dataset. Here there is date, time, competition, round, day, venue, result, goals scored by the home team, goals conceded, and the opponent's expected goals of both teams, possession, attendance, captain, formation, and many more. So these are the features of the data set. Some important features includes the result, which is very important for predicting the match outcomes. That that we will predict the result in the end of this project. Just wait. Now that we know what our data looks like, let's load it and uh, let's explore it then. This is our data set. Importing some essential libraries, then fetching some few rows, checking for some columns and checking for some null values if any. Next step is the data cleaning part where we will be, you know, dropping unnecessary columns like the unnamed competition and some report related ones that aren't useful for analysis. Now checking again the data set. Now it's completely dropped. Clean. Checking for any duplicates. There are 988 duplicates. We will just view the duplicate rows. They are actually the duplicates. Because sometimes it just happens that some values are different and all other rows have exactly the same data, so it will also consider that as duplicate. But in this case, it's not like that. So we can safely remove all the duplicates, like the second occurrence of all that first one, just keeping the first occurrence. Then now checking for the results value, like the for win, how much loss, draw, and here we will just map that win to 3, draw for 1, and loss for 0. So because in a typical football match or league, you get 3 points for win and for draw 1 point and loss 0 points. So I have also mapped according to that. Now checking the result values. Now it's converted to numerical values. Now checking for outliers, if any, in the attendance column. There is no outliers, so we will be using box plot for the outliers detection. This is actually the box plot. So it's clear that there are no outliers, so we don't need to use IQR method or anything to remove outliers. Now the in the you see if you see here, let me just check the null values if there is present. In there is one null value present for distance, so we will just drop it. Sorry, we will just fill it with the mean value. Now we will again check it. There is no null value. So attendance has some null values. It's because of the COVID-19 that pandemic. Now checking for formation if there is any type error for that or if there is any special characters. As here also it's pretty clear that inside for formation there is some format difference. So I just decided to check it and I found that there is one special character. So I decided to drop it by not considering it as a regular expression and as a simple text to replace it using a normal string replacement method. Now just splitting the date into different year, day, month column for time-based analysis later. Our data is completely ready for the exploratory data analysis purpose and to uncover hidden trends and insights. Now, moving on to the EDA process, the first one is the time and date analysis, where we will be uh, looking for number of matches played in each year using count plot. So from this plot, we can pretty much observe that 2019 and 24 is the year in which very less number of matches were played. Obviously, because due to some changes in league structures or disruptions like the COVID-19 pandemic. If you will see from the count also, it's clearly visible that 2021 and 23 is the year in which most matches were played. Also from the graph also, it's pretty much clear, right? Now, the second one for date and time analysis is the monthly match distribution of matches played. So from here also, it's clear that February and the December is the month where most number of matches were played, and the June has almost no matches or very less match as it's typically off season, in the EPL. Now the kickoff time distribution of matches, like what is the start time of matches? 12 here the this chart just shows the distribution of match, like the 3 p.m. is the most common kickoff time in England. You see, most number of matches starts at 3 p.m. Now moving on to the attendance analysis part. So first one, this is the attendance per season. We'll plot it using the box plot. And again, it totally makes sense that the 2021 has shown a sharp drop, which aligns with COVID-19 restrictions, and the empty stadiums because of that. Now attendance for each teams, home teams, using the bar plot. Right. Now, here the Manchester United has the highest attendance, followed closely by West Ham and Arsenal, or Tottenham. This literally shows their fan base. Now, the referees analysis officiating the matches. So, the Anthony Taylor has been appointed as the referee for most of the matches, and followed by Michael Oliver. Now, the second analysis is most wins under a captain. Top 10 captains who has led his team to the most number of wins. The first one is Jordan Henderson of Liverpool. He has led his team to most number of wins. Shows he was a successful captain. Yeah. Followed by Hugo Lloris. Now moving on to season analysis of the attendance of some popular teams using the you know the line plot. Here also Manchester United has the highest number of attendance. Season wise match outcomes for each teams, how much total number of wins, draws, and losses they have in general per season. Let's see. So, so the season-wise match outcomes for Manchester City is this. This is the legend for the result, that how much they have won, lost, or draw. This dark green shows the loss. This one the draw, and this win. This is for Manchester City, then Manchester United. All season-wise wins, draws, and loss. Liverpool, Chelsea, Leicester City, West Ham United, Tottenham, Arsenal, Leeds, Everton, Aston Villa, Newcastle, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Crystal Palace, Southampton, Brighton, Burnley, Fulham. So might be wondering why it has no data for 2020. It's because this team was promoted to English Premier League in this from this season only, and in the 2020 season it was not there in English Premier League. And similar for this Sheffield, Bournemouth, and Brentford, Nottingham also, Watford, Norwich as well. They just played 2 seasons. That's why there is only data for 2 season only. Now coming on to the formations, penalty kicks, and free kick effectiveness analysis. The formation used by teams in matches. Let's see. So most of the teams has used this formation for in the match in the matches. So it's quite more than 1,000. Now the effectiveness of that of the formations, how much win rate is for each formation. So here the 3-2-4-1 formation has highest win rate. Now each team of our data set in our data set. So now the third one is penalty conversion rate. How much they score from penalties, how much goals they score from the penalties. So for that, I've used this formula, that is penalty kicks upon penalty kicks attempted by the home team. So the Wolves, West Bromwich Albion, and Norwich City and Luton Town has highest penalty conversion rate. Shows that they almost convert uh, all penalties into goals. Now the shots versus shot on target analysis. You see here the horizontal bar. The light green shows how much shots taken by the home team, and this one shows the shots on target, the dark green one. So this is the plot for shots versus shot on target. Now moving on to the team analysis and points table analysis. The first one is head-to-head records between two teams. Just to check the head-to-head records, how much win those draw they have. You take Liverpool, Arsenal. So here you can see the head-to-head records of both teams. Now the combined points table of 2020 to 24 season, all in one table. If you see here, Manchester City has most number of wins compared to other teams. So it is in first in the points table with 440 points. Let me just check if it's right or wrong. So for wins, we get 3 points, and for draw we get one, and loss nothing. So if you check 138 into 3 plus 26 times 1, 440. So it's correct. This is all the combined points table for last 4 seasons. Now the correlation matrix analyzing the relationship between numeric features. Let's see the heat map for that. This is the heat map for that. Let me just minimize it. Let's analyze it. Here, if you see carefully, the goals scored by the home team is highly correlated with the result. It just shows that the home team who scores goals means they have a high probability of winning the match. So that's why it's highly correlated. And if they concede more goals, then also it makes sense that conceding more goals just means you lead to worse result for the you need to worse result. It just leads to worse result for the home team. Now, if there is any very high values, Yeah, there is very high value for penalty kicks and penalty kicks attempted. Yeah, almost it's nearly one. Like just shows that penalty kicks attempted and penalty kicks scored are almost perfectly correlated. This shows that most of the penalties are converted to goals. And some other values that are near to zero features like attendance, free kicks, and season show little or no correlation with most variables. And this just means they may not have a direct statistical relationship with in-game performance. So this was all the analysis of the heat map of correlation for numeric features. Now, finally, moving to this section, here we build a basic predictive modeling using all the numerical data. The goal, as I mentioned in the beginning, was to predict the match results, wins, loss, or draw. So let's start this section now. So first, we will just simply drop all the non-numeric or irrelevant columns like uh, the date time and you see the kickoff time, around venue. These are all non-numeric or irrelevant to our predictive model. So we just simply drop it. If you see, we have all numerical columns. Now moving to the features and target. Next, we define our features X and target variable Y. X contains all performance related stats such as the goals and possession and the shots, except the result one, and the Y is the result column which we aim to predict. Now the train test split. The next step, the train test split, which has 80% training and 20% test. Here we use a logistic regression model. So it's just suited for classification problems like this. So the model is trained on the training data using the fit function. Now moving on to making predictions. The accuracy score for both training and testing. Let's see how much is our accuracy score. As our model achieves a training accuracy of 81.18% and testing accuracy of 78.82%. Now moving on to the confusion matrix. Here, here you can see our model is pretty much good at identifying the losses. It has a value of 257, which is good. Now the draw row is 98, only 98 predicted correctly as draw, and rest are also very less. So for draw, it struggles with predicting draw, but for win also it has 244 score. It predicts 244 wins correctly. So yeah, our model is very strong in predicting the wins and loss of the team. Now moving on to the classification report. So yeah, it performs best in predicting losses and wins and struggles with draws. As the F1 score of our loss and win is 81 and 91 in comparison to the draw, which is just 56%. Now, coming to the last part of our project, which is to predict match results for inputs. Like these are the features of our data set, and we will just give input according to that. For a sample, we will be taking the first row. So we will assign the each value according to this order in our data frame in a single row. Then we'll do the prediction using the logistic regression model, and we'll see if it actually shows win or loss. Yeah, so the predicted match result is win, and this just confirms the model's practical use in forecasting future match results based on past performance data. And yeah, this was all my project. Hope you like it. Thank you.